Welcome back. We're here to look ahead to Tuesday night's Premier League game between West Brom and West Ham. Barnes, let's start with the home side. They're really struggling at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, another defeat last time out, 3 in a row now, and they're starting to slide down the table. Alan Irvine only had a decent spell a couple of months ago, but now they're in poor form. It's 1 win in the last 8 now, I think, and they're only 2 points clear of the relegation zone. They need to improve that, especially at home. They've only won once at home all season, and they need to do better than that if they're to drag themselves away from the bottom 3 and stop getting into a relegation battle.
Yeah, it was another defeat, like you say, at the Hawthorns on Saturday, and it's always going to be a tough game against Arsenal. One of the best teams in the league, and they didn't play too badly. Arsenal weren't at their best at all, but I think they'll be disappointed, not to have scored, and they were quite unlucky. There was that incident with Berahino. He was clearly onside when he was played through on goal, and it would have been very similar to the goal he scored against Man U earlier on in the season. He was going clear on goal, and he finished that brilliantly when he played against Man U. So I'm sure he probably would have scored that again. He also hit the bar late on, so yeah, they were a bit unlucky, but yeah, they haven't scored for 3 games now either, and it's a big struggle, and the way they conceded as well would have been disappointing because Andre Wisdom against Santi Cazorla, you'd expect Wisdom to be winning that foot race 9 times out of 10 really, but Cazorla knocked the ball around him and then sort of out-muscled him as well, which is amazing to think little Cazorla winning that, and Welbeck got up well, but disappointing, and yeah, another home defeat.
Yeah, you do have to say in their defence that they've had some tough fixtures recently. They've had Chelsea, Newcastle being in form, and then obviously Arsenal. It does get easier for them. This is going to be another tough game. West Ham in really good form, but after this they've got Hull, Aston Villa, QPR, and they're the 3 teams currently straight below them in the table. So they're going to be big matches, and they're the ones they need to really win if they're to keep themselves within arm's length of the bottom 3.
And yeah, like you say, West Ham, this is probably the toughest game of those next 4 because the Hammers, that was a great result they had against Newcastle. They sort of ground out. Newcastle went to Upton Park, they'd won 6 games in a row, and West Ham stopped them scoring, nicked the goal. Cresswell, that was his first goal since joining from Ipswich in the summer, and he's been a great player at left back. So is Carl Jenkinson at right back. There's been some good summer signings. It wasn't the prettiest football. That against Everton the week before they were sort of criticised for how physical the game was against Everton, and then against Newcastle, it wasn't that pretty, but they ground out the win, and that's what you need to do because Newcastle went there on such good form, and against those sort of teams you might not be able to completely outplay them, but they just got the better of them. Allardyce got the better of Pardew, and that's exactly what you want to do in those tough home games.
And they sort of reverted more to what we assume Allardyce would play like. They played some nice football early in the season because there's that whole thing in the summer about Allardyce being told to play nicer football, and it has worked at the start of the season, but sometimes they are going to need to grind out those results like that. It's only 1 defeat in 7 now for them. They're only 1 point off the top 4, which is sensational really from West Ham, and although their away form has been a bit of a mixed bag, I think they've won 2, drawn 2 and lost 2 so far. Overall, Allardyce will be ecstatic with how the season's gone so far.
Yeah, I think they'll start this game as favourites. What do you think the score will be?
Yeah, I think they'll go in as favourites, and I'm backing them to get the result as well. 1-0.
1-0. I think West Brom, I think they would be quite encouraged by the performance against Arsenal, so I think they might get a point here. I'm going to go 1-1, but 1 West Ham win and a draw. Thanks for watching.